Hi guys, welcome back to Cars with Mo. Today we are going to do a comprehensive buyer's guide to the Range Rover and more specifically the L322. The L322 was the first and only Range Rover to be designed by BMW and it was produced from the year 2001 and 2012. The German manufacturer had bought the brand in the mid-90s, however sold the brand to Ford in the year 2000, shortly before the car was released in 2001. Before we get into the buyer's guide, here's a breakdown into the L322's lifespan. We begin with the earliest L322, which was produced from 2001 to 2004. From there was a facelift model running from 2005 to 2009, and finally the late generation, which ran from 2009 to 2012. During this time, a lot had changed in terms of design and chassis, and understanding the differences is crucial to ensure you buy the model that's right for you. First in our buyer's guide are the parts and common issues to look out for no matter what age, specification or engine you buy for your Range Rover. Starting with one of the most common issues to look out for is rust on the rear arches, sills, rear subframe and tailgate. The rear wheel arches rust on all models. This is due to the poorly weather sealed area. The issue is so common that finding replacement arches isn't difficult and relatively inexpensive. The sills are further at risk if your model is fitted with a side step, as this can allow moisture, snow and dirt to sit for longer. A top tip is to remove the side step, however, the visual appearance of a side step is highly debatable amongst owners. Staying on the issue of rust, perhaps the most expensive job is replacing the front and rear subframe. If you only have surface rust, you can perhaps tackle this by using some kill rust and zinc spray. However, if the rust has weakened the structure, replacing the front and rear subframe is not only very expensive but incredibly time consuming and difficult. If undertaking the job yourself, it could cost around the £900 mark. However, if taking it to a garage, then it would be considerably more. If you're in the market for one, ensure you've thoroughly checked for visual and structural rust in and around the car. Secondly, the air suspension can suffer several faults. The control unit, air pump and air lines can all suffer problems. The most common failure is airbag failure, which shouldn't come as much of a surprise as the car is very heavy and almost all cars with the airbag suspension will need to be replaced at some point. An airbag failure will cause one or more of the following issues. The car will be very slow to raise, or it may not raise at all to a standard ride height. A note for potential buyers of a late L322 Range Rover is the system is different to the earlier facelift and original models. Owners have reported the new system doesn't ride quite as well, or it's a lot stiffer than the earlier generation, but don't assume there's a problem with the system right away. Moving on to number 3 on our buyer's guide, and now we focus on some of the electrical issues faced by the L322. Major electrical issues are not so common, however minor electrical faults are reported quite regularly. These can relate to bad wiring, battery and alternator faults. Although not a hugely expensive job, tracing and locating the issue can be time consuming and expensive. A lot of the time with electrical issues is trial and error, always starting with the cheapest possible fix and working your way around the car. I highly recommend some sort of a diagnostic tool to help locate issues a lot quicker. Driver seat leather bolster wear is common and the leathering along the cushioning can become split. These cars are heavy, so ball joints and bushes suffer wear a lot quicker than your usual hatchback. More common is the rear suspension hub joints. These are the bushes that connect the hub to the wishbones, and the usual symptoms to look out for are clunking noises when driving over bumps. Budget for replacement if the car doesn't have a history of them being replaced in the last few years. Moving on to engines. The earlier L322 engine was offered in 2 engines, although some markets were only offered the one. First of the 2 engines were a 4.4 litre V8 engine producing 282 bhp with an average of 17 miles per gallon. This was the most powerful engine in the earlier L322 range. These engines are fairly reliable, but there are 2 reported issues: cylinder scoring due to the aluminium construction of the engine, and it's also worth checking and listening for any rattles of the timing chain guides when purchasing. The other engine option was the 2.9 litre diesel 6-cylinder, producing 174 brake horsepower and average of 25 miles per gallon. It's a common engine amongst many BMWs and is considered very reliable. With good maintenance and regular oil changes, owners have taken BMW with the same engine to well over 200,000 miles. There are, however, a few reported issues with Range Rovers with this engine. Firstly, the 2.9 is really at its wit's end pulling a Range Rover of this size. This causes more stress on internal components and can cause early failures in turbos. The 5-speed manual box is also limited. Whilst the BMW is paired with an automatic transmission, the manual again struggles with the weight and doesn't provide the best driving experience. Again, this puts excess strain on components such as the clutch, and if not driven properly can cause early failures with clutch and flywheels. Another thing to note is the TD6 has 3 fuel pumps and owners have reported failures. Diagnosis and investigations into which pump has failed could be expensive and time consuming. In 2005, 3 engine options became available: a Jaguar 4.4 litre V8, a Jaguar 4.3 litre supercharged V8 and a 3.6 litre TD V8. The 4.4 litre produces 295 bhp, averaging 19 miles per gallon, and the 4.4 litre supercharged V8 produces 395 bhp and averages 18 miles per gallon. Though you may face higher running costs, these engines are a proper treat and provide seemingly effortless driving alongside reliability. The 3.6 litre TDV8 produces 272 bhp and averages 25 miles per gallon. Many consider this engine the all-round favourite in terms of affordability, reliability and performance for the L322 Range Rover. All three models are well within their comfort for towing and have excellent towing capacity. Finally, we have the last two engines in the L322 range. The 5 litre supercharged producing 501 bhp and averaging 19 miles per gallon. This was the fastest Range Rover in the L322 range. These did suffer timing chain failures, however they were repaired by Land Rover under warranty, so ensure yours has been replaced. The other engine was the 4.4 litre TDV8 engine introduced in 2010, producing 315 bhp, averaging 30 miles per gallon. A figure being achieved using an 8-speed gearbox, making this TDV8 quick and efficient. There is a known fault of the engine cooler leaking, so ensure this has been replaced. The model does have a DPF, which means if you're not taking the car for a good drive every so often, then expect a build-up of carbon deposits which can cause DPF failures. This is an expensive part to replace. Some owners have reported to gut the internals of the DPF and remap the car, which in turn give better fuel economy and performance without having any DPF issues. I'll cover the different models and specifications on another video. If you have anything to add, please do so in the comment section below. I'm sure other users will find this information useful. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace out.